Commissioner Colleen,
Comment on that. I'm here.
Chair Dobb,
Here,
you have a quorum present.
thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approval of the October 11, 2023 meeting minutes.
Approval, Madam Chair.
There's a motion for approval. Is there and support? All those in favor, please vote on your tablet.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, next item.
Item 1, under new business, forwarding the September 2023 Enterprise Resource Planning Connect 43 Program Status Report.
Okay, is there anyone here for this item? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hi,
Please
this
join
is-
us.
This
Oh.
is Mike Jameson on the line, and then my colleague Patty Hollenkamp can introduce herself.
Great. Yeah, that microphone doesn't work. Please just sit at the table and then.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
once the microphone on, yes, name and title for the record, please.
Patty Hollenkamp, Project Coordinator for the Wayne County PMO.
Okay, great. Can you just give us an update on the report?
I think Mike's going to provide that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, hey,
Mike, go
yeah,
ahead.
this is, hey, how are you guys? This is Mike Jameson, Connect 43 Project Director. Yeah, so just a kind of continuation from last month's session. So the main difference being that we had not officially approved the replanning of the overall project, particularly HCM. Whereas in September, we got that approval from John Wallace, the executive sponsor. The other major item of note was that there were 4 Oracle amendments, the big one being a transition from the Guidehouse PMO to Oracle. The contract for that was approved along with three other ones for time primarily. So just again, high level, I'd mentioned in the last meeting that the big holdup was conversion validation. It still was for the month of September. I'll give you an update as real-time update. We did get conversion validation completed last week, so we have now moved into smoke testing. But in September, it was still an ongoing item. That was primarily the main to do, as well as preparing for testing. The replan was obviously the other major item, and the replan essentially is just looking at the revised schedule of HCM and then determining if that go live changes the go live related to the enterprise resource planning and enterprise performance management waves as well. We continued along in EPM, ERP. We started pre-planning and we onboarded, because we were transitioning PMO, we onboarded new leads for change management and testing. And then we also conducted a Connect 43 town hall on September 21st.
Okay. Do you know when the next town hall will be?
No, so we are, depending on how things go with the replan and how close that kind of pushes up to the holiday, it will either be early December or the first thing in January. What we want to do is use that opportunity to formally advise on the new schedule, what we're calling the replan. And so once that's formalized and approved, we'll schedule the town hall, and we're looking for either early December at this point or the first in January when folks get back.
Okay, thank you. Any commissioner questions on this item? Okay. All right, can I get a motion to receive and file this communication? Put it on your tablet, please. Oh. All right, it's been moved and supported. Please vote.
Motion carried.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. Thank you. All
Thank you.
right, next item.
Item 2, reporting the Department of Corporation Counsel Settlement Report for July through September 2023.
Hello, Sue. Name and title for the record.
Good afternoon, Sue Hamoud, Deputy Corporation Counsel. Thank you for accommodating my schedule moving this meeting.
Mhm.
It's been a morning. Are there any questions on the settlement report?
I don't have any commissioners. No. Okay, I think the rest of the agenda is
Mine.
yours. So if
Yeah.
you want to just stay up here, we will I'll take a motion to receive and file this item.
Yes.
Oh, it's been moved by Commissioner Colleen. Supported by Commissioner Basham. Please vote. All right, next item.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 2-year legal services agreement with Plunky Cooney and the Larry Smith versus Wayne County et al. Matter.
Okay, so
Good afternoon, Sue Mood, Deputy Corporation Counsel. This is a legal services agreement for an alleged wrongful conviction of an individual. The case is still pending. We are in the dispositive motions are pending. So the modification is needed to get us through the dispositive motion phase. And then if the case proceeds to trial, we will have to reevaluate if a modification is needed after that.
any questions, Commissioner Basham?
Yeah. Yeah, now, there's a lot of people that are convicted that say they're wrongly convicted. But this is in the process, as I understand it. So the way you said it's alleged. I'm all in support of selling this if somebody's wrongly convicted, but so this is still going through that phase?
So these are individuals. So the prosecutor has the Conviction Integrated Unit, CIU.
Right.
So individuals apply through that process in order to be released. So this individual, this one's Larry Smith. So this individual applied. In some instances, not all of them, they come back and sue us. That's one of
What
them.
he's doing?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Colleen?
No, that was
you
my
have some-
question.
okay.
That was answered. I thought, so they've gone through the conviction
Conviction
integrity unit.
integrity.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then I don't want to get ahead of myself, but number 4 is
No.
the same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, can I get a motion on this item?
Sure.
Did you have a question?
Oh,
Or you-
Here it is.
Okay.
You're on it, baby.
Moved by Commissioner Colleen, supported by Commissioner Basham. Please vote.
Motion carried.
Okay, next item.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 2-year legal services contract with Plunky Cooney and the Raymond Ward versus Wayne County et al. Matter.
Sumo Deputy Corporation Counsel. Again, this is an alleged wrongful conviction case. Dispositive motions are pending in this case as well.
Okay, so this is kind of like.
It's almost, almost the same
Stage,
case. It's the
okay.
same allegations. It's just, they were almost filed like really close together in time.
Okay.
Thanks for explaining to a layperson.
What, you're not a lawyer?
Commissioner Colleen.
Thank you,
you
Madam
have a
Chair. Prosecutors all over the country are picking up on conviction integrity units. In your circles, do you know when they're released by prosecutors under that process and they turn around and sue their county? How many of those are successful?
Laws are different in every state.
Of course.
And my understanding, I can't answer that. Obviously, in each case is different.
Right.
I know I've seen some really large settlements in across the country. I think, or I should say in Wayne County, we have been fortunate that we have only paid out on one of these cases.
does it really revolve around either police or prosecutor malfeasance that gets them overturned? Maybe I'm not
Both.
using the right term.
Both. It
Yes.
depends. So there was one case, the one that we paid on. It was a little bit of both.
But that would be the basis for a
Correct,
suit.
correct.
Okay.
And I'll just say, in these cases, these two cases specifically, our position is that it was all police malfeasance and the prosecutor had no involvement in the convictions other than doing their jobs.
Commissioner Kenny, did you have a question?
Just one to help build out my understanding. So in this case, I guess help me delineate between somebody who files in the court of claims or pursues wrongful imprisonment and compensation from the state versus the actions that we have here. Are these people who are just seeking to have their convictions overturned? Were they incarcerated at some point? What does that delineation
So
look like
once,
between the two?
once the individual goes through the CIU process and they're released, then they can file in the Court of Claims for the Wrongful Conviction Act reimbursement. That is separate from these lawsuits. These lawsuits allege constitutional violations generally in all these cases against the police and against the prosecutor.
So can it be the case then, and I don't think it's wrong, I just want to make sure I understand it, where an individual is seeking redress because of these constitutional violations they've experienced, we settle, they receive some payment for that, and then simultaneously or in parallel are doing the application for and can get compensated from the
Yes.
state as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Generally, the state compensation happens much quicker than
okay,
all this.
thank you.
Commissioner Basham?
Yeah, so if they found out it was police malfeasance or whatever, is there a follow-up, as I feel it should be, for us to make sure that, so it don't happen again, that we send a message to the different departments or
So
whatever?
in these cases, in generally all of the lawsuits, the police are also defendants in the case too. So like in these cases, the city of Detroit is a defendant with us as well.
But I guess my question is, because we wound up paying the price for it, is there some method of sending a strong message to that police officer that this is no longer tolerated? You need to be terminated, disciplined, whatever, but because I can remember back to the 60s when, personal things was police officers had a lot more liberty to do some of the stuff that they would get caught doing today. And maybe we look at some stuff today, is there a pattern, and are we dealing with the pattern?
So the short answer, two things. The short answer to your question is no, because we don't have any authority or control over the officers. They work for a totally different governmental entity. That being said, a lot of these cases, Commissioner, are from several, and when I mean several, sometimes decades ago. They
Mhm.
were not cases
Mhm.
that happened like in the last 5 years, so to speak.
Well, I'm still trying to, but it's on our table to deal with it. And if it's, say, I'll just use a city, pick one out, just say Detroit. We have relationships with Detroit. Can we send them?
Well,
Oh.
yes, they're aware of what the issues are and, they take their own risk management measures and and obviously the prosecutor's office work with the officers for their cases as well. But in terms of like firing people or anything of that such, we don't have any control over that.
But how do we send a strong message that we don't like getting these cases, for lack of a better word?
We don't.
We don't,
We don't.
but we got to defend them.
All right.
Commissioner Clean, did you have one?
Yeah, perhaps
last?
for a look, but did you say both of these cases, there's also a case in a suit for the city of Detroit?
The city of Detroit is a party to these cases.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the court may find, the county, you didn't do anything
Yes.
wrong.
Mhm.
But DPD, you have a problem, and then it's in their bailiwick.
Correct.
This could have gone on in Taylor too, I'm just saying. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, we have a motion and support.
Yeah.
Please vote.
Don't mess with my town.
Motion carried.
Next item.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 2-year legal services agreement with Plunkett Cooney and the Nicole Harris et al. Versus Wayne County and Corporal Terry Graham matter.
Good afternoon again, Sue Hummu, Deputy Corporation Counsel. This legal services agreement involves a case with, Allegra, are you here? Is it 128? Over 100 plaintiffs who allege they were wrongfully strip searched in the jail. If you will recall, a few months ago, we came to you with a settlement for 4 plaintiffs. That was a potential class, that was a class action where it was never certified as a class. These plaintiffs were left over from the class. There are, the law firm is going through all the plaintiffs and ascertaining what statute of limitations defenses we have, because some of these people are barred by the statute of limitations. But we wanted to get ahead of the legal services contract and not have to bring you a retro. And so that's what this modification is for.
Questions on this one? Commissioner Basham?
That's a motion.
Oh, it is. Thank you.
Yeah, the whole color thing.
Any? Yeah. All right, any questions? We're all good on this one. Please vote.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a legal services agreement with Clark Hill PLC to continue providing legal services in the disability retiree healthcare arbitration award matter.
Good morning to the committee and staff. My name is Bruce Campbell. I'm with Corporation Counsel. I'm an attorney in their labor and employment area. And this involves a lawsuit regarding disability retiree health care. And it actually has a long and almost torturous history. Goes back to 2010. There was a change after the adoption of new collective bargaining agreements with a new health and welfare benefit plan, changing things for retiree health care that was implemented in 2010 after we had, for all union members, after we had reached agreements with all the unions. AFSCME locals then filed an unfair labor practice claim at the Michigan Employment Relations Commission. We lost at the ALJ level. We got it partially overturned at the commission level, entirely overturned at the Michigan Court of Appeals. And at the Michigan Court of Appeals, they determined that the evidence that the commission had evaluated was the wrong evidence, and they remanded it to arbitration on a very narrow issue. Ultimately, that was arbitrated. Unfortunately, the union did not file a grievance until 5 years after the change. We had a class action arbitration that occurred during COVID on briefs. The arbitrator made a decision adverse to the county and basically adopted the commission's reasoning and rejected what the Michigan Court of Appeals had said. And then it went to a lawsuit in court, and in court, the judge agreed to enforce the award. And we have that up on appeal at the Court of Appeals. And we're working with the Clark Hill Law Firm, who has a big subspecialty in labor and employment law, and has dealt with a number of these type of class actions, benefits issues in the past, some high profile ones, and very successfully, I may add. And so we have proceedings at the Michigan Court of Appeals. At the same time, because of the judgment, the court has asked us to negotiate with ASME, which we've been doing. But also on certain questions left unanswered by the arbitrator, the court has remanded it back to the arbitrator. So this is almost like its own section. We got a Court of Appeals part, we got a trial court part, and we got an arbitration part. So that's why we need outside counsel, to navigate all those different areas. With that, I would take any questions you might have.
Commissioner Colleen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good morning, Counselor.
Good
Um,
morning, Commissioner.
We are the plaintiffs. The county is the plaintiffs here?
No, the county is the defendant.
Who's suing us?
Asked me in trial court. They sued us and they won a judgment.
Yeah, I
Which
thought
is up
they
in
had a
appeal.
ruling in their favor.
They had an arbitration ruling in their favor
So why are they suing us? They gotta,
because they're suing to enforce. We refuse to abide by the arbitration award because it
Oh.
violated the remand order from the
so
Court
ask
of
me
Appeal.
saying, hey, you've got an order, you gotta perform.
Correct.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anyone else? Can I get a motion?
Yeah, you got one.
Been moved and supported. Please vote.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for joining us.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item 7, requesting commission approval of Amendment 2 to a legal services agreement with Seward Henderson P LLC in the matter of Jonathan L. Burks versus Wayne County et al.
Yes.
I'd like to, the advice of council move to go into a closed session.
No,
No,
not this
next one.
Next one.
Oh, I thought we were on 8.
We're on 7.
They're
All right,
they're
hold on to
related.
that. I'll be back for that.
They're related.
I know it's been a long agenda. I'm not there yet, almost. Okay. Sue, go ahead.
Sue Vu, Deputy Corporation Counsel. This legal services contract is, I'll get into a little bit more discussion in item number 8, which is the settlement. But this matter was scheduled for trial on October the 10th. Hence the need for the additional funding. We elected, although the case is tentatively settled, subject to your approval, we elected to proceed with the modification for 2 reasons. Number one, you might not approve the settlement and we would have to go to trial. But there's also additional work that still needs to finalize and wrap up the case, which is probably going to exceed the amount that we have left on the contract. So.
Okay. So you said it was scheduled for trial on
Correct.
October 10th?
Yes.
But, okay.
It didn't go to trial because of number 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And it's not retroactive or anything?
No.
Okay. All right, great. Any questions? Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Basham, supported by Commissioner Clean. Please vote.
2 cases with the same name after that.
Motion carried.
All right. Next item.
Item 8, requesting commission approval of a settlement in the matter of Jonathan L. Burks versus Wayne County et al. Corporation Counsel has reviewed the litigation and is of the opinion that a discussion of trial or settlement strategy in connection with specific pending litigation in an open meeting will have a detrimental financial effect on the county's litigation or settlement position. Therefore, a closed client counsel session is requested.
Now, Commissioner Clean, you can move it. Please.
All right. We have to do something about back-to-back agenda items that have the same case name. But nonetheless, I move close second on the advice of council.
Sport.
Okay, it's been moved
Okay.
and supported. Yeah, we need a roll call vote, please.
Yep.
Commissioner Kenizik? Commissioner Basham?
Yes, on the board.
Commissioner Khalil?
Aye.
Chair Dodd?
Yes.
We're now moving into closed session.
Right, if you do not need to be here for this item, please leave the room.
The bricks.
And everyone, please turn off your microphones. I think yeah, she's got to reset the screen.
There we go. Now we got the last vote.
All right, I will take,
Approval of item 8.
okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Clean, supported by Commissioner Basham. Please vote.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. Next item, please.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I have none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Is there anyone who wishes to make a public comment to the Committee on Government Operations? Anyone on the phone or on Zoom? Receive any emails?
I believe we do have an email.
You can go ahead and read that. 2 minutes.
This is from Alex King. It says, I want to know who is on the committee for negotiating wages and what their focuses areas are, or what their focus areas have been through this contract negotiation. Last year, raises were negotiated for every clerical worker in Wayne County except for the clerical workers in the Register of Deeds. People in my department are wanting the base pay raise for step increases to be worked into the contract so they can get the max of their pay range after being there 10 years. Every municipal clerical job has step raises. For cities like Redford and Ypsilanti, the max pay is reached after 10 years. Some workers come to Register of Deeds and take a pay cut because they think they'll make more after a few years, but then they find out everyone in the department is at the lowest pay after years. We've been losing lots of people to the private sector. This department has become a revolving door of young people working here for their first office experience, and they stay long enough for them to trade up for a higher paying private sector job. I can't get young people to sign up for the union because they don't intend on working for the county more than 6 months.
Thank you. Any last public comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. All right, without objection, we are now adjourned.